there's a whole list of ones, but it's only because you told me that those are the lines that are important, cool, or meaningful.
I love that. And I have too many. Like, I love all of his lines. I love, I don't know if I've ever told this in a Q&A, that one memory that stays in my mind is the prayer, right, the 7 chaos. That's the only thing I remember that I did one time, and I looked up, and everyone in the booth, was teary, was misting. And
that was the first take?
I did one take of it, and Lonnie,
I learned stuff.
and I just remember Lonnie leaned into the mic and she said, "That's it. We won't get better than that." And so that was whoa. But there was a moment, there was the interpreter, there was everything, checking with everybody, and then leaning in, and I was emotional. So that stays with me.
That's why it's so awesome. It was the first and only time you did it.
The only time I did it. Yeah, there is not an alt. I'm sure there's not an alt of that. That I remember. And then I love. And then of course, time for a knuckle sandwich. Of course, I love. Yeah, we'll see about that, Batgirl. Yeah, I love. There's so many, right? They're all.
What about that shift rock? Yeah.
Oh, the shift rock. Yeah, the story. Am I going to tell it? Am I telling the story? Okay, so.
Shorty, tell it, folks.
So this really happened. That's the hardest line that I said in the game, for sure. And this is true. I know this sounds like folklore. I promise you, it was burned in my brain forever. That day, I gave my performance a shift rock, yeah! And they all nodded. I thought we were moving on. I thought we had accomplished the task. And then they did the thing that we all dread as actors. They muted me in the booth, and talked about me for 5 or 6 minutes, and you're just seeing that. And I'm thinking, what have I done? I'm freaking out right now. And finally they unmute, and they say, "Hey Scotty, can we ask you a favor?" And I was like, "Sure." And they said, "So we're not really allowed to swear in games yet, but we would love for you to give a version of Shift Rock Yeah, where you make that F so silent that people will wonder if you said Shift Rock Yeah or Shit Rock Yeah." And that is harder to do than you think, yes? And so it took about an hour, and I kept doing it, and there was too much F, too little F, right? We just did the whole thing, but when I got the right take of it, the entire room exploded. They were clapping, they were giggling, they felt like we were sneaking in this little Easter egg. Said shit, yeah, said shit. And so now when people say, "Oh my gosh, my brother and I have been playing Sonic Heroes for years, you have to answer the question, did you say Shift Rock Yeah or Shit Rock Yeah?" I always say, yes.
Well, all right, any other questions? Let's see, I think we're gonna go to this side of the room. You in the black tank top, yes.
Adam, no, yeah, is that you?
Is Sonic and Knuckles gonna have their own game?
Is Sonic and Knuckles going to have their own game? From your mouth to Sega's ears.
Please, yes, we would love that.
Yeah, we would love that, and we would love it just as much as you do, if not more. Because, and this is something that maybe we need to cover. We have no power over what they do over there. So we are just there to provide the service of adding the voice to the character when and if they ever want to put it in a game or on the screen. So I've gotten messages my entire life of, "Please come back for this." I'm like, it's not my fault. It's not my call. My agent has always kept an open dialogue with Sega. Everybody is cool with everybody, but I can't do anything unless they call. So I hope they do make a game that's featuring us, and I hope when they do, they give us both a call.
Yeah, same. And we would love to be in the movies, alternate universe, I'm just saying.
Yes. Hey, by the way, but however, this is actually helping us out, because thanks for going to see the movie, because I'm pretty sure almost all of you have. Yay, good, because they're good movies, and I'm glad we all are seeing them. But it also means, to translate this into Hollywood speak, they are doing very well financially. That third movie made over $1 billion worldwide. And so when anything starts with a B, like the word billion, you know they're going to make more. So you know they had already planned out 4 before 3 even hit the theaters. And 3 did so well, they were already talking about 5, 6, 7, 8. So that just means more chances for Sonic from the movies, the amazing Ben Schwartz, to jump through some sort of portal and meet all of us folks on the other side. So let's hope they make a movie that has some sort of thing in it. The next movie, we know we're going to get Mel, right, and Amy Rose. So we're going to see what they're going to do with that. They're going to have to reach really far to beat the third movie. I thought that third movie was awesome. So let's see what they do next.
And of course, it was Sonic Adventure 2 Land, right? That's
Right,
why
that
movie
helps.
was so great, right?
Yeah, when Ben Schwartz says my line, I'm like, it wasn't that cool. I literally spit my popcorn out because I didn't know it was coming because no one told me. Ben never mentioned. And so I was eating my popcorn and he said, and he was going to jump out of that helicopter and he said the line and I was like, it's my line. Yeah, awesome.
All right, folks, we're winding down a little bit. We've got a couple more minutes, so we're gonna try and do a couple more questions.
Superman, right here. We
Yeah,
can't ignore
gotta do
Superman.
nothing.
Thanks for saving all of us.
Like, what do you use? Like, we like reference to any other like, obviously you guys don't voice characters these days anymore. But like, do you guys see like other like Dan Green or Jason and Griffith actors after you? Did they come back to like use you guys as references to I guess trying to figure out like how they should approach the characters?
Yeah, I mean, and I think that's probably a natural thing. That's not just a voice actor thing. That's a human thing that you see what comes before you, and you kind of build at least on that. I do know because Jason Griffith has said it in many a panel just like this. Excuse me, that he when he started.